Manchester United is one of the biggest clubs in UK, and it has one of the largest global fan base. And right now they're going through a takeover, and I understand you both parties are interested in this. So let's look at the introduction. What is Manchester United? It's a UK football club. Its industry is spectator sports and entertainment, and the main source of revenue operations is broadcast rights. So when Manchester United plays on TV, the TV companies pay Manchester United for broadcasting them. Second one, sponsorships like Adidas, Nike. Competition performance, if they place well in a performance, in the league performance, or they win a competition, they get bonuses. And ticket sales. Right. So ownership structure right now is 69% by the Glazers family. And they have purchased Manchester United in 2005 for around 790 million. And unfortunately, one of the points that she'll be talking about is they added a lot of total financial leverage, because of which, because of the added debt, it has a lot of complications that they will explain. And another 31% is other stakeholders. So now let's look at the analysis. Okay, so Karman will start the ratio analysis now.
So starting with 5-factor DuPont, I want to start with asset turnover ratio. Asset turnover ratio, that means for every $1 of asset, how much revenue is the company making or generating. As you can see, the asset turnover ratio, it started with 0.4 and there is 0.5, almost the same. So it's okay, it's neither good nor bad. Moving on to ROE. So ROE is net income upon equity, and you can see it has gone down from 4.5 to minus 90. That's a very big drop. If we look at the net income and the equity, for the equity share.
You want to show?
Yes, equity. So ROE, that is the return on equity, is net income upon equity. Even though you will see that the equity of the shareholders is decreasing, ROE should have increased, but it's not, because the net income is decreasing so much that the ROE is actually following. So total equity is decreasing, ROE should have increased, but it's not, because the effect of net income decreasing is so much that the ROE is decreasing and falling to minus 90. Talking about the leverage. Talking about the leverage. So the leverage has increased. So this is one of the problems with Manu, that is the Manchester United. That is, it's actually taking a lot of debt. That's the issue. So the debt to equity, the leverage, the total leverage has increased from 3.6 to 10.1. That means, for example, if I have 10 units, 1 unit is through assets, and 10 units is through the debt. So they are taking a lot of debt, and they are spending a lot of money in repaying that debt. If we also see the PE ratio, so the PE ratio comes out to be negative. When the PE ratio is negative, in 2022 it was minus 11.8. So when it comes out to be negative, that means that not only they are not able to repay their shareholders, they are not able to give to their shareholders, they are also losing on a lot of money. So that is the ratio analysis. So ratio analysis does not point towards a good direction. It just says do not invest because the company is not giving good results. Now going on to the balance sheet.
So we'll do vertical and horizontal analysis. A quick difference between vertical and horizontal analysis is that vertical analysis, the denominator is total assets. So everything, all the calculations are done with respect to the total assets. Whereas horizontal analysis is done in comparison to the base year minus the original year divided by 100. So let's do a total, vertical analysis. Can we have total assets? Yes, total debt, total equity, and also accounts payable. We can remove total debt for now. Remove horizontal. Okay, as you can see, the accounts payable are increasing, which is no issues. So as you can see, the accounts payable are increasing gradually over here by 1.7%. The total equity is decreasing. And can we have Tahir? Can we have the current liabilities as well? Yeah, and the current liabilities are also increasing. So what does this say? That the total liabilities are increasing, and can we go to the total assets now? Horizontal and total assets. Balance sheet, total assets. Total assets, yes. As you can see, the total assets have significantly decreased from the base year, and it is on a general increase because right now in 2022, that is obviously because of the recent win. But as you can see, there's a downward trend where the total assets have been decreasing. Now, you've noticed the total liabilities to be increasing and the total assets to be decreasing. This means that the shareholders' equity has also been decreasing. Yeah, that's the reasoning for the balance sheet.
One of the main points I want to observe is this region. This is the COVID first UK case, and this is the COVID lockdown case. Lockdown reopening of everybody going outside.
Yes.
So if you can see, there's a sudden drop in all the trends because of this. Most football clubs, not only Manchester United, lost a lot of revenue because people stopped coming to the football stadium. Okay. People
Yes.
stopped coming to the football stadium. So because of this, they lost a lot of revenue through ticket sales. So that's one observation I want all of you guys to make.
Okay, so I'll be speaking on the income statement of Manu. So we'll start with net income. Okay, so as you can see, the net income is also like decreasing, and especially you can see a major drop during the COVID period. As he said, that's the reason for the major drop. Put EBT and EBTI. You can see it's all decreasing, and this is the change. Like the change in EBIT is minus 19.3. That's how much difference there is. And for for net income, that's minus 22.8. So it's on all three graphs you can observe that it's negative and it's decreasing. So they're not making any profit. Show operating income. Operating income should be positive, but no, even that's decreasing. So that shows that this company is not very efficient in or generating income. And as Husam said, like as he implied, they have so much debt that they spend most of the income or revenue that they make paying off these debts. And even when they generate extra revenue or income, they spend it mostly on paying the interest for those debts. Yeah, now I'd like Aaryan to go forward.
Just one point we forgot to mention. One point we forgot to mention is that one of the reasons Manchester United has a negative operating income is because currently there is a competition called Champions League. That's the highest level of football you could say in Europe. And the problem in Manchester United is basically they're all getting all the players are getting Champions League level salary, even though they're not even qualifying for Champions League. So they can't just reduce the player salary because they might go to a different club. So because of that, their wages is so high that they're losing operations itself. They're losing a lot of money. Next thing would be
cash flow. So let's look at the cash flow analysis of Manchester United. Absolute. Absolute, and we look at parameters such as capital expenditure, change in payables and accrued expenses, and yeah, this one, and change in working capital. Okay, so if you can open the table view also. Yeah, so we can see that the change in the capital expenditure has decreased significantly. We've reiterated this enough that the company is a heavy leveraged company. So all of their debts are getting financed by selling off their assets. So that is why the expenditure on these assets has, as expected, decreased. Change in payables and accrued expenses has increased. This is because they have a lot of liabilities to pay for in the future, and because they have a lot of loans on their head, that is why we've seen an increase in the payables and accrued expenses. To be more clear, accrued expenses are any liabilities that you have to pay for in the future. And lastly, there was change in working capital. So change in working capital also, as expected, has decreased. Change in working capital is the difference between the current assets and current liabilities. Now, like my teammates have mentioned, the current assets have decreased, current liabilities have increased, making the ratio dip, and hence that is why we are seeing the decreasing trend in change in working capital. I'll move on to that.
So I think that's it for us, and we were able to quickly summarize everything for 15 minutes. If you are more interested in this, please contact Beloitte@gmail.com for more queries, and we'll be happily be able to assist you in the future. Thank you.